Students, today we are going to study life processes. It is the chapter 6 of class 10th science. In this, we will study about nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. These are the life processes of our body, and we will study about these one by one in this chapter. So I am going to start this chapter with the definition of life processes. Students, you can see life processes. Now, as the name of this chapter is life processes, now the question arises, what are the life processes? What is the definition of life processes? So you can see on the blackboard, life processes are those processes which maintain body functions and necessary for survival. Life processes, these are those processes which maintain body functions and necessary for survival. Now, the term body functions. What is the meaning of this body functions? Here we are going to study some of the body functions like nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion, which are very necessary for us, for our survival. So in the life processes definition, these are those processes which maintain the body functions and necessary for our survival. So this is the definition of life processes, and examples of life processes are nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. In nutrition, we will study about how we intake the food, and you can see on the blackboard the definition of nutrition. The definition of nutrition is taking nutrients like carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamin, mineral, water, etc. from food. So basically, what is the nutrition? Nutrition is the process in which we take, or in which the taking of nutrients like carbohydrate, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water, etc. from food. So when we intake the food into our body, then from that food, when our body is taking these types of nutrients, carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamin, mineral, and water, so that process is called nutrition. Nutrition is that process in which the taking of nutrients like carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins, minerals, water, etc. from food is done. When we take these nutrients from our food, then that is called nutrition. So further we will study about the modes of nutrition. So in the modes of nutrition, we are having two modes. Number one, autotrophic nutrition, and number two, heterotrophic nutrition. So in the modes of nutrition, we are having two types of modes. Number one, autotrophic nutrition. Number two, heterotrophic nutrition. In the autotrophic nutrition, in this type of nutrition, the organisms which produce their food from simple inorganic material like water or CO2 in the presence of sunlight, for example plants. So in the autotrophic nutrition, the organisms which produce their food from simple inorganic material, water or carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight. And in the heterotrophic nutrition, in this nutrition, those organisms which are dependent upon other organisms for food. Heterotrophic nutrition means those organisms, or we can say in this type of nutrition, those organisms comes which are dependent upon other organisms for food. For example, human beings like us and amoeba, etc. I am repeating again, in autotrophic nutrition, those organisms comes which produce their food from simple inorganic material like water or carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight. These types of organisms comes in the autotrophic nutrition, which produce their food from the simple inorganic materials like water, carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight. These types of organisms comes in the category of autotrophic nutrition, and example of this nutrition is plants. And in the heterotrophic nutrition, in this type, those organisms comes which are dependent upon other organisms. In the heterotrophic nutrition, those organisms comes which are dependent upon other organisms for their food. For example, human beings and amoeba, etc. Human beings, amoeba are the examples of heterotrophic nutrition. So we will discuss about heterotrophic nutrition in detail later. Now we are going to study about autotrophic nutrition. And when we are saying autotrophic nutrition, then we will study about the nutrition in plants, and with a special name of that process by which plants make their nutrition or plants make their food. That process is called photosynthesis. So in autotrophic nutrition, we are going to study about nutrition in plants, and in nutrition in plants, the process which is specially named for the making of food by the plants is called photosynthesis. So we are going to study about photosynthesis in detail. So here in this portion, you can see we are going to study autotrophic nutrition. And in this we will study about nutrition in plants. So we are going to study photosynthesis. So basically, what is the photosynthesis? It is the process in which green plants make their food from simple inorganic material like carbon dioxide from the air and water from the soil. Using these two types of simple inorganic material in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, they are converting these two into a complex organic food material. I am repeating, the green plants are converting the simple inorganic material like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to the complex organic food material. Here you can see glucose C6H12O6. It is the complex organic food material for the plants, and other name of this is glucose, C6H12O6. It is the chemical formula of glucose, and it is the food for the plants. So this process is called photosynthesis, and in this process oxygen is also produced with the glucose, and that oxygen is given to environment by the plants. So I am repeating again, photosynthesis is the process in which green plants make their food by converting simple inorganic material like CO2 and water, CO2 from air and water from soil. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to the complex organic food material, here it is glucose, formula is C6H12O6, and with this O2 means oxygen is also produced, which is given to the environment by the plants. So this is the definition of photosynthesis. I hope it is clear to all of you. So photosynthesis consists in 3 steps. So I am going to explain all the 3 steps in detail to you. Number 1 is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. So what is the chlorophyll? Number 1 is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. So where this chlorophyll is present in the plants? So I have drawn a diagram. You can see here it is the diagram of a leaf, and in this leaf we have plant cells. In the leaves we are having plant cells, and in the plant cells you can see this is the shape of a plant cell, and in this you can see here in the circle, the circle is a chloroplast. This circle is chloroplast. It is situated in the plant cell, and in the chloroplast the chlorophyll is present. So number 1 is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. So where is chlorophyll present in the leaf? In the leaf there are plant cells, and in the plant cell there is a chloroplast, and in the chloroplast this chlorophyll exists, or this chlorophyll present. So I am repeating again, here it is the diagram of a leaf, and in this leaf we are having so many plant cells. You can see this, I have drawn a 2 plant cell. So in this plant cell, here the circle is representing the chloroplast. The circle is not a chlorophyll, it is a chloroplast. In this circle, or we can say in the chloroplast, there is a chlorophyll present. And the work of chlorophyll in the photosynthesis is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. So first step of photosynthesis is, in this step chlorophyll absorb the light energy from the sun. Absorption of light energy by chlorophyll, this step is the first step of the photosynthesis. So coming to the next step, conversion of light energy to chemical energy. So in the second step, the conversion of light energy to chemical energy occurs. And splitting of water molecules. Water molecule, the formula of water molecule is H2O, and when it will be splitted, it will give to us hydrogen and oxygen. So in the second step, conversion of light energy to chemical energy and splitting of water molecules. You can see here this water molecule is splitting into hydrogen and oxygen. And in the third step, reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. If you remember reduction, the reduction word comes in the first chapter, chemical reactions and equations, and the meaning of reduction is addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. So addition of hydrogen, when we are saying in the third point that reduction of carbon dioxide, it means when we are saying reduction of carbon dioxide means it is the addition of hydrogen to carbon dioxide. Reduction of carbon dioxide means addition of hydrogen to carbon dioxide to carbohydrate. When hydrogen, now the question comes, how the hydrogen comes, or from where the hydrogen comes in this photosynthesis. Students, I have said earlier, when this water molecule will be splitted, then hydrogen and oxygen will be produced. I have not balanced this chemical equation, but you can balance this chemical equation if you want. Here 2 and 2 comes for balancing this chemical equation. So now the point comes where the hydrogen comes. So when this water molecule will be splitted, the hydrogen will be produced, and this hydrogen will be added to carbon dioxide. And the addition of hydrogen to carbon dioxide means reduction of carbon dioxide. I am repeating, this water molecule, after splitting, it will give to us hydrogen and oxygen. This oxygen will be produced with the glucose, and this hydrogen will be added to CO2. And when hydrogen will be added to CO2, it means the reduction of carbon dioxide, because reduction means addition of hydrogen. So reduction of carbon dioxide, and it will give us the C6H12O6, which is the food for the plants, and it is the glucose. So in the third step, reduction of carbon dioxide, addition of hydrogen to CO2, and it will give us carbohydrate, which is C6H12O6, the glucose, and it is the food for the plants. So here the process of photosynthesis ends, and these 3 steps are the main steps in the photosynthesis process. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now we have discussed about autotrophic nutrition, and autotrophic nutrition means we have discussed about nutrition in plants. Now we are going to study about second type of, or second mode of nutrition, which is heterotrophic nutrition. So in the heterotrophic nutrition, as I have said earlier, in the heterotrophic nutrition, those organisms comes which are dependent which are dependent upon other organisms for their food. And in this type of heterotrophic nutrition, the examples are human beings and amoeba. So heterotrophic nutrition, in this there are 3 subcategories. Number 1 is saprotrophic nutrition. Number 2 is parasitic nutrition, and number 3 is holozoic nutrition. So heterotrophic nutrition is further divided into subcategories: saprotrophic nutrition, parasitic nutrition, holozoic nutrition. So starting from saprotrophic nutrition, what is the saprotrophic nutrition? In this type of nutrition, those organisms comes which make their food from the dead and decaying organic matter. In this type of nutrition, the organisms take their food or make their food from dead and decaying organic matter. And example of this type of nutrition are bacteria and fungi. We can say this fungi or fungi. I am repeating again, in this type of nutrition, the organisms take their food from the dead and decaying organic matter, and bacteria and fungi are the examples of saprotrophic nutrition. In the parasitic nutrition, those organisms which make their food from other organisms without killing them. In this type of nutrition, parasitic nutrition, those types of organisms comes which make their food from other organisms without killing them. They don't kill other organism, and they take the food from the another living organism. They don't kill other organism. Examples are mosquito and leeches. You can see mosquito bite us, but mosquito don't kill us. Mosquito bite us, but mosquito don't kill us. Mosquito take his food from us, but he don't kill to us. So last is holozoic nutrition. In this type of nutrition, the processes like ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation or excretion occurs, and the best examples of holozoic nutrition are animals and humans. You can see we ingest our food, and when it intakes in our body by us, then it is digested in our stomach or our small intestine, and after that absorption takes place, and assimilation takes place, and after that excretion takes place. So this type of nutrition, holozoic nutrition, in this the examples are animals and humans. So I am repeating again these three types of nutrition of heterotrophic nutrition. So in the heterotrophic nutrition, first is saprotrophic nutrition. In this nutrition, those organisms comes which take their food from the dead and decaying organic matter, and the examples are bacteria and fungi. Parasitic nutrition, in this type of nutrition, organisms take their food from the other organism without killing them. Without killing them, they take their food. And examples are mosquito and leeches. And last, holozoic nutrition. In this type of nutrition, the processes like ingestion means in taking the food, and digestion and absorption and assimilation, excretion. These types of processes occur in holozoic nutrition, and examples of holozoic nutrition are animals and humans. So this was today's lecture. I hope it was very helpful for all of you. So I am your teacher of maths and science. My name is Inderpreet Singh. So this is my beautiful channel. So thank you everyone. Thank you very much.